Hey there, Shakira Brown, award-winning business communication strategist and professional speaker. And I normally talk a lot about communications, but one of the other things that I love to talk about is thinking and how people need to think things through more carefully. One of the aspects of thinking things through is taking time. A lot of people want to rush to do things, maybe because they want to get that outcome as soon as possible. But for maximum success, you really need to take time to think things through and strategize. A lot of people don't have time for that. But if it's something that you really, really want, you actually need to evaluate how you're going to get there. Think about 4 to 5 steps ahead on what it looks like when you reach that goal and the steps in between that you'll need to take, and then plan for all those. That's a very important piece of ideation and strategy is to actually think things through and not rush to move forward with things and not undervaluating time. Okay. Everybody's in a rush. We're constantly going from one place to the other. Things have to be done. But what I'm trying to say to all of you who are working on special projects at your organizations, individuals who maybe even have things that they're working on in their homes, or if you're a small business owner and there's things that you want to do, you have to take time to think things through. How do you do that? Well, sometimes wouldn't it be great if you had some moments of silence so you can think? Some people might find that awkward. I find it very, very therapeutic. I often will drive without any radio or music or anything on because that is something that I need to have, is that blank space so that I can really listen. Sometimes thinking through things through also means doing your due diligence, whether that is listening to podcasts that talk about the goals that you have, and provide strategies on how to get there, reading blogs from organizations that, again, are relevant to what you're trying to do. These are all ways to help you strategize and think things through. So what else can someone like you do in the near term? Well, when you have idle time, audio is a great way to keep pace with what's going on in your market. I always give the tip that, when you have time where you're just sitting, whether you're sitting at your motor vehicles waiting to get renew your driver's license, I listen to podcasts while I'm getting my nails done. It's actually a routine that I have for the last 2 years. Before I release my hands to the nail technician, I am teeing up at least a 30-minute podcast to listen to. And it's usually one that I listen to often. And I am, I'm a captive audience at that point. The person's doing my nails and I'm listening to the podcast. Obviously, if I converse with my nail technician, I will, pause or turn it off if there's a conversation to be had. But if there is not, I am listening to a podcast. And I often will get really great tips for things that I'm working on by listening to that podcast. And that is literally having a moment to think something through, to connect the dots. Lastly, as part of thinking things through, I want you also to try to train yourself to see things differently. Okay. A lot of people that I interact with when I'm out speaking or doing a corporate workshop, they're telling me things that indicate to me that they see things in a square box, right? They can't see out of that box. They just can't. And what everyone has to try to do is to look at something that may be not applicable exactly to what you want, but find ways that could be applied to what you want, right? I was speaking with a young person recently, a young professional, about a social media plan. And this person had a sample social media plan from someone from another company, from a company that, was giving some advice on how to put together this type of plan. But after reviewing it, this person realized that it wasn't for like a business. It was more for like an influencer. And what I said to her was, okay, it's for influencers, but is there any value throughout this 10, 15 page document that you've just showed me that we could try to apply to us, to a corporation, to a business? And she looked at me and was like, well, I don't know. I didn't think about that. It doesn't matter what it is. You can learn from other industries, other strategies from other verticals. It doesn't matter. Take what you have available to you and apply it to what you do. Think through how you can make it work and put it into action. Execution is power. So if you can remember those things, I promise you're going to have an easier time planning all of your events that you might be working on, planning different projects that you might be working on, or even deploying something within your organization. Because thinking things through provides the space for you to succeed. I hope this brings you lots of success and more moments of strategy. Thank you.